Hello and welcome to Other People's Problems. Before we get started, if you enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll really appreciate it. And now your hosts, Lee and Lynn. And we're back at Reddit with my father won't stop asking me when I'm going to have children, and I am extremely uncomfortable. Also, we have, can I call the suicide hotline if I'm not 100% suicidal? Stick around for that one. Lynn's going to get us started.
Okay, so my father, 39 years old, will not stop asking me, I'm 21 years old, when I'm having kids of my own. I have asked him to stop asking this question many times for almost 2 years. Damn it!
That's a very
She was much younger.
First of all, that's a very young father to have a 21-year-old.
True.
He's only 39.
That's true. Yeah, and
So
then...
I hope he doesn't want her to ruin her life like he did.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And 2 years, for 2 years, so she's 21 now. So she was like, what? 19. Are you crazy? Okay, it says the thought of me having children is something that makes me very anxious, sometimes to the point I have a panic attack. I can't handle the sight of a pregnant stomach, or I get nauseous. I don't like kids, and I would never make a good parent. Oh my gosh.
That's all. Say no more. That's all the reason in the world not to have kids.
Exactly.
Her perspective may change later in life.
And it will.
And
She's
she
still
has
young.
plenty of time.
She is still young, yeah. And she says, I had to go to sister's baby shower yesterday. I didn't want to go because I knew that my father was going to ask me the same question. Including,
her sister?
Yeah, her sister.
I wonder how old the sister is.
Very good question.
The father probably had her when he was 12.
We'll see. Okay. So it says, I knew that my father was going to ask me the same question, including my anxiety about pregnancy. The day went as well as it could until I was about to leave with my grandma. I gave my dad a hug, told him goodbye, and before I could leave the place, he asked me, when are you having kids? To which I responded that I never would. He then asked me if I have a boyfriend, and I answered no. After this, he told me, you need to start producing. And that's when I had enough and left. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel disgusting and exhausted. I try to sleep it off, but I still feel uncomfortable, and I just don't know what to say anymore. Asking him to stop hasn't worked. Telling him I won't have kids hasn't worked. And even begging him to quit asking hasn't worked either. I want to cut him off, but that's just not an option at the moment. I need help figuring out what to say to him that will get him to finally shut up and stop asking me that question. If anybody has any advice on what I need to say, please let me know. Thank you. So, I'm curious. She didn't mention, and she would have, I guess, if this were the case, but I know in Hispanic culture, from my perspective, parents expect their children to, at a very young age, go ahead and get married and have kids, because that's the thing to do. And based on what he said, that you need to start producing kids, I'm like, that's definitely what a Hispanic parent would say. You know, Hispanics like to have tons of kids.
I know. But don't they emphasize finding the right person?
Very good question. That's the way it should be, but unfortunately, not all cultures follow cultural traditions with the rational mind. It's just because it's tradition.
Oftentimes people, I've never understood, I had a friend some years back, and she felt her biological clock ticking. She was still young, but she wanted kids so bad. And she, she's asking me, when are you gonna have kids? Don't you want? I'm like, yeah, I don't even have a girlfriend. What do I look like thinking about kids? That should come first. A healthy, stable relationship. I think a lot of problems within our community would be avoided if that was the priority, rather than just having kids.
I agree 100%.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I know when I was younger, that my parents they're always very, very anxious, ready for me to get married and have kids. When are you gonna? And there's a lot of pressure in that. Of course, I'm Hispanic, and if you get to a certain age, like past 30 or even past 25, I think they're like, oh, she's an old maid now. She's not married. She needs to have kids. There's always a lot of pressure.
I used to have a lot of older women, not necessarily pressuring me, but asking, when do you get married? When do you get married? But I also had a lot of older men telling me never get married. A lot of older married men. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
They know.
These women's husbands, they're like, don't do it. Don't even worry about it,
and I kind of feel for her, and I understand what she says. She doesn't like kids. She will change her mind perhaps when she's older, and maybe not, and that's okay. So, but I hated that her own father is putting pressure on her. She's young.
I can't believe he doesn't understand. She should.
I can't either.
There's not much she can do aside from telling him how she feels
and
leaving it at that. She shouldn't even entertain when he goes there. Just
ignore him.
Just ignore it.
I think what she needs to do, she should tell him exactly what she said. Look,
let him know
I don't
how
like
much
kids.
is bothering her.
I don't want to be in that position. I'm still very young. I'm not ready for kids. I don't like kids. I may change my mind when I'm later, so just leave me alone.
Please.
Please respect that. And if he continues to push her, I'm sorry, I'm not past just ignoring him,
Wait, and she's talking about her sister. Was it a baby shower?
Baby shower for her sister.
He's a 39-year-old grandpa.
Uh-huh.
That's wild.
It is wild. And I don't get it. I wish I knew what his logic is behind wanting her to have kids.
Right.
And
it's funny that she didn't mention how her mother feels.
She did not
or
mention
whether they're
her
still
mother.
together.
Yeah.
That would be interesting as well.
So what
Some
did other Reddit
advice,
users say?
Another Reddit user said, you are 21. Kids should be the last thing on your mind right now. Establish yourself first. Gain some financial stability. Find a mate that you want to spend your life with. It's easy to make a child, but literally hell to raise them if you don't have a good partner, stable income, and a stable living environment.
Of course, and
Perfect
everybody
advice.
should take that advice. Everybody.
Definitely.
Don't be in a rush to have kids. My goodness.
Definitely.
Anyway.
And of course, we want to hear you guys' opinions. So let us know in the comment section. And moving along, this Reddit user posted, can I call the suicide hotline if I'm not 100% suicidal?
Okay.
He says, I'm not planning to kill myself. I have too many responsibilities to do that. I just don't know what to do with in my life. I'm so effing sad constantly, and I know the cause of it. It's more than I could ever explain in text, but I don't want to waste the suicide hotline resources if I'm not supposed to call for that. Is there a different number I can call? Will they commit me to a psych ward if I call in the USA? I know someone who claims that happened to them, and I can't afford to be gone for a week right now.
It makes me think of, how police departments, there's 911 and then there's non-emergency numbers.
Right.
So when he asked that, it made me think of that. They should have a non-suicidal suicide hotline.
I'm pretty sure there are resources that someone can call. I know that there are, at the very least, there are online resources that someone can reach out and talk to people, just, to have someone to lean on. As far as a phone number, I'm not aware of one, but there may be. I'm pretty sure there is.
I love it that he says, I've got too much responsibilities to commit suicide. I'm like, really? You'll be gone. You'll have no more responsibilities.
Well, perhaps there are people that depend on him.
Sure, I get it.
And he has to make sure that they're okay.
Poor thing. But,
he sounds like he's in a very bad situation.
Yeah, I hope he finds help. But let's hear some advice he got from other Reddit users. It says, this guy wrote, why not? I call Domino's even if I'm not 100% sure I want a pizza. Maybe I want wings. Okay.
And sometimes I call up QVC and they ask me, can I help you? And I'm like, no, I'm just looking.
That's a good one. Okay, and this other guy says, sometimes I don't even order anything. I just need a friend to talk to. And this person says, yes, you can. You aren't wasting their time. So,
I mean, do they have enough? I imagine they have enough operators available that you'll never call up and get a busy signal.
I would hope so, but let me tell you one thing. I talked to a lady one time. She said she was suicidal. She called the suicide hotline, and she said they put her on hold.
Really?
Yes. I'm like, are you kidding me? No way. She was okay though. After that, she said, I'm fine. But I was like, how could they even do that? But who knows?
Well, there you have it, folks. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for listening. Please comment, share, subscribe, like, and we'll talk with you next time.
All right. Bye.